CTV News at 5 with Marina Moore and Tony Rima with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. It's good to be back. We begin with some tragic news from the police community. We're told an OPP officer has died in the line of duty in Hearst this afternoon. We've learned the officer is Provincial Constable Tarun Bali and that he was killed during an investigation at Kendall Concession Road 7 and Concession Road 6 near Hearst around 12:30 this afternoon. Bali was from the Dufferin County Detachment in southwestern Ontario and was on deployment with the James Bay Detachment. Bali had been with the OPP just 2.5 years. Details surrounding the cause of death have not been released as the investigation is ongoing. However, police say one person is in custody. In a post on X, OPP Commissioner Thomas Carrick saying, quote, "His courage and commitment to serving others will never be forgotten. We will update the story as more information becomes available." Now to a note for drivers. Highway 69 in the French River area is now open after being closed for much of the day following a fatal collision. Police say one person was pronounced deceased at the scene and 2 others were transported to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The highway reopened around 3 this afternoon, and our digital team is following the story and will post any updates on our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. Now to an update on Monday's fatal collision in the northern section of our broadcast region along Highway 11. The crash between a passenger vehicle and a transport happened between Long Lac and Hearst and closed the highway for 18 hours. A 54-year-old from Geraldton was pronounced dead at the scene. 2 others involved were treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Well, it's time now for our first check on weather, and it looks like we're heading into a bit of a soggy stretch. For more details, we go to CTV's Tony Rima. Tony, let's be optimistic. It's good news for the forests.
How true. Yes, a lot of forests on fire. Marina, welcome back, by the way. As we take a look at our heat warning, yellow on the board in through Hearst, Kapuskasing, Attawapiskat, the far north. The temperature going to continue today until Thursday in some parts of our broadcast region, reaching 29 to 31 degrees Celsius. Add the humidity and it'll feel a lot warmer than that. And as we take a look at our forecast radar, shower activity. The rain has started in through Sault Ste. Marie along with Wawa, and then it's going to move in an easterly fashion. We'll get some breaks, and then after that, plenty of thunderstorms. More weather details later in our show. Marina.
All right, thanks for that, Tony. Greater Sudbury is refreshing its transit system with new smart cards and new vehicles. But as 6 new diesel buses hit the road, the city's decision to pass on electric options is drawing some disappointment. More from CTV's Amanda Hicks.
Sudbury Transit is getting a digital facelift. The city says nearly 40% of daily riders have already switched to the Gova Pass mobile app. And last week, smart cards officially replaced the old magnetic strips.
We've seen upwards of almost 1,000 cards sold. The other positive piece for our customers is that that value is protected. So previously, if somebody lost a 31-day pass, as an example, that value's gone and we can't protect that. Where within our new cards, there's a protection ability for that.
He adds, for those not comfortable with smartphones, the cards can be loaded in person at the transit kiosk or at local libraries. Meanwhile, 6 new diesel buses are hitting the road this week. Adair says it's part of a broader effort to modernize the Gova system and replace aging vehicles that have been in service for nearly 2 decades.
That's part of our accelerated bus purchase program. So that's an ongoing capital project that will see the replacement of up to 53 buses. So at this point, once we have these 6 online, we'll be up to 35 new buses. A diesel bus is upwards of $1 million, and we know that battery electric bus is much more than that.
It's a choice local electric vehicle advocates understand, even if they wish the city could have gone a greener route.
It's all about cost and, balancing what the city can afford with other, higher priority items. Fully recognizing that there are, issues with homelessness, drug use, that kind of thing. So you kind of have to balance it.
The city hopes the updates will eventually boost ridership, which has dipped recently with students away for the summer months. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
The faculty union at Laurentian University confirms that terminated employees at the school during its insolvency restructuring in 2021 have finally received their payouts. The Laurentian University Faculty Association calls it the last and final step in a painful chapter, with creditors receiving just 25% of their claims. 5 years ago, 195 staff and faculty members were terminated after LU filed for insolvency. The president of the Faculty Association says the CCAA process wasn't the right process and sparked a legislative change in 2024 to exclude universities from CCAA proceedings.
The causes of the crisis, as they were established by the Auditor General of Ontario, were the lack of accountability and the lack of transparency, and these, could have been addressed through other processes and should have been addressed through other processes.
And we reached out to Laurentian University. An email from the communications department says it does not have anything to contribute to this story at this time. Time now for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Tony has your full weather forecast. Also ahead, why nearly half of Canadians do not have a will. We get Northern reaction coming up.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Welcome back, everyone. Now your main weather for 5 o'clock on your forecast radar. You can get your membership by going to getcaa.ca, and there's a lot of activity on here. As I mentioned a little earlier, the rain has already started, and it's going to kind of filter through from a westerly to easterly pattern in through northeastern Ontario. There's going to be pockets of activity, a risk of thunderstorms in some communities. The temperatures are still going to be high. We're going to get some clearing, though, and I love this map because a former director, Larry Lauzon, used to call this lemons and limes and also tangerines and reds, and temperatures going to fluctuate from 18 to 31 degrees Celsius. Our rain forecast, we've been talking about it. We certainly need it. It's dry out there. And about 34 millimeters, up to 36 in through Parry Sound. Other areas of the northeast, not so bad. 13 in for Sault Ste. Marie. Let's take a look at your 5-day weather forecast, starting with Sudbury Nickel Belt. Tomorrow, risk of thunderstorms, 26 degrees with the humidity. It's going to be much higher. Thursday, temperature rises, the rain continues, and in through Friday, temperature drops a little bit, also continues. We're going to get some sunny breaks in through Saturday and Sunday. Heading on over to Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma, showers. That's going to continue. More rain in through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Some clearing. Temperature also falls. As we head on over then in through Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, mix of sun and cloud tomorrow. Then the rainfall continues. 30 degrees on Thursday. Some sunny breaks Saturday, Sunday. Temperature also cooling off. Should be about 22 degrees this time of year for Timmins. For Timiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, risk of thunderstorms tomorrow. Temperatures rise. We also get some sunny breaks. Then the showers continue. Temperature starts to moderate. Sunday, 19 degrees. And finally, folks, your 5-day weather forecast for North Bay, West Nipissing, risk of thunderstorms. Temperature, well, almost spot on for this time of year. In through Thursday, 29. Add the humidity, it'll feel like 33, 34. The rain continues. Then it kind of stops a little bit. We get some sunny breaks on Saturday and Sunday, 18 degrees and shower activity. Marina, that's your 5-day weather forecast. It's back over to you.
All right, thank you for that, Tony. Well, violence in schools is an issue on the minds of many here in the North and beyond. And in the North Bay area, more than a dozen partners are now working together to prevent and respond to potential risks. CTV's Angela Gemmel reports.
Representatives signed their names to the Assessment of Risk to Others protocol, known as the Ardo Circle. It brings together agencies in the Nipissing and Parry Sound districts, joining forces to prevent violence.
It's important to kind of keep our eyes wide open going into these situations, and for us that's really the key, is making sure that we bring the community partners on board, because sometimes we don't have all the information, but some of the community partners may have the information to help us understand what's going on and to prevent something from happening. happening.
Under the ARDO protocol, the multi-agencies are committed to preventing and responding to potential risks of violence from children or youth in local schools or the wider community. Partners include the 4 local school boards, mental health agencies, police, and the municipality.
We come all together and we want to get all these pieces and make the puzzle to understand what is happening, why it's happening, and have an intervention that goes straight to the root and not just put a Band-Aid.
The ARDO Circle then finds solutions to support the children, youth, and families involved, with the larger goal to ensure safety in the community.
The protocol says what we need to do after we have our meeting, if we want to have a micro-assessment and see long-term how we're going to support here.
This initiative was 5 years in the making, with the French language school board the first to see the need.
I don't think there's one situation in particular, but I think looking around the country, there have been some fairly scary situations, and we just wanted to make sure that those things did not happen within our schools.
One speaker at the launch said it's easy to think that a school tragedy could never happen here, but added that instead of relying on hope, the ARDO Circle is choosing to strengthen the safety and well-being of the Nipissing Parry Sound District. Angela Gamble, CTV News, North Bay.
A new poll conducted by CIBC says Canadians feel estate planning is important, yet only half actually have a will. CTV's Lindsay Alick finds out more.
End of life. It's something many Canadians don't have a plan for.
Canadians acknowledge that they need to have a will. In fact, almost everyone, 94% of Canadians we surveyed, saying they need to have a will. Unfortunately, only about half of people actually have a will.
The poll suggests many procrastinate, believing they don't have enough assets to warrant a will, and uncertainty about where to begin.
They don't want to talk about death, but sometimes it's simply because they're not sure who is going to be the guardian for the minor children. Who do they want to name as the executor? How do they want to distribute the assets?
What would you say to people that are procrastinating?
Get it done. And especially now, because I lost my mother not too long ago, and we had everything in order, and it made it so much easier.
Actually, we don't. We're looking into it. We're really late with it. We used to, because we used to own a business. But our lives have changed, and we do need to look into that.
Do you have a will?
Oh, yes.
And was it an easy process?
Yes, it was.
Ultimately, the hope with this survey is that Canadians will get a will done as soon as possible.
Speaking to a lawyer is ideal when your situation's anything beyond the basic situation, but also sit down with a financial advisor, get some advice, do a financial plan, look at your goals, come up with a retirement plan, and ultimately, when you go out there and get that advice, you'll be much more comfortable to know that you've taken care of everything that you can.
Beyond wills, the findings indicate that even fewer Canadians have put other foundational elements in place, with only 39% reporting a financial plan and 29% having an estate plan. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
And coming up on CTV News at 5, lifeguards are back on duty. Plus, a message of empowerment from a group of female bikers in Timmins. Stay with us. A Sudbury thrift store, Josie, the beloved tabby who called Pet Save home, has died. We first met Josie back in 2023. In a Facebook post, Pet Save officials revealed Josie passed away Thursday evening. They go on to say she was the light of the store who took her roles as greeter, inspector, and quality control specialist very seriously. Her grumpy face would go on to demand treats and belly rubs at any given time. Josie was 25 years old. Sudbury's downtown event center will be front and center at tonight's City Council meeting. In a motion being fronted by Councillor and mayoral candidate Bill Leduc, Leduc is suggesting it's time Council be given an update on the current status of the project. According to Leduc's motion, 8 months have passed since the last update. Final preparations are underway for tomorrow's Armed Forces Day celebration at North Bay's waterfront. The parachute team, known as the Skyhawks, practiced a few jumps this morning, testing their gear. This Armed Forces Day will also mark the last time North Bay will get to see the snowbirds in their current iteration. It's expected a couple thousand students and members of the public will be there for the show tomorrow morning.
It's very hard to describe. It's just very rewarding to feel all the love and all the support from the community, and to see that people are supporting the Canadian Armed Force in such a strong way is very rewarding as well as a military member myself.
And the city says everything is weather permitted. To ensure safety, the entire North Bay waterfront will be a no drone zone during the event. A new women-led motorcycling group in Timmins is hitting the road with a message of empowerment, inclusion, and community. Moto Dolls Timmins is creating a welcoming space for women and members of the 2S LGBTQ+ community to connect through their shared love of riding. CTV's Lydia Chubak reports.
Amy Mulryan and Cora Lynn Morissette are the co-founders of Moto Dolls Timmins, a newly registered nonprofit dedicated to building a more inclusive motorcycling community. Unlike traditional riding clubs, Moto Dolls operates as a no brand, no patches group, removing many of the barriers of conventional motorcycle culture.
These two groups, so women and the queer community, have been ostracized from the motorcycle community. It's heavily male-based, so this just gives us a safe space to be ourselves, be welcome without fear of being excluded in those environments.
The group's first ever ride earlier this spring attracted 20 riders, a turnout organizers say exceeded their expectations.
We had 20 awesome ladies show up. We were not expecting that many, so we were super excited to spend an evening just riding, doing what we love. It was amazing. My heart was full. It was a great feeling to know that we have at least that many women out there wanting to participate and enjoy the sport as much as we do.
On June 14th, Moto Dolls will host the Sadie Grimm Legacy Ride, honoring the Manitoba woman who became the first female winner of an official motorcycling competition in Canada in 1914.
We're inviting the whole Timmins area to come and join us to celebrate the milestone of women's motorcycling.
The charity ride will begin at Collège Boreal, travel to White Birch General Store west of Timmins, and return to campus for a pizza lunch, prizes, and community celebration. Moto Dolls can be found on social media, where riders can learn more about upcoming rides and future events. Organizers say they plan to stay active throughout the year, providing safety tips, rider information, and encouragement for more women to join the sport. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
7 municipal beaches in Sudbury will soon have lifeguards posted. Starting this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., lifeguards will be posted at Bell Park's main beach, along with Moonlight and Nepewan beaches. Cape Real, Centennial Park Beach in Whitefish, Calmo Beach in Valcarin, and Whitewater Lake in Azilda will also be staffed. The city is reminding parents that lifeguards are not a substitute for adult supervision of children. When we return, it's Take Me Home Tuesday. You're watching First at 5.
Welcome to another edition of Take Me Home Tuesday, as we look to find loving homes for dogs and cats. Emma Bailey of the Sudbury SPCA now joins us. Emma, so nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
So who did you bring in for us today?
Today we have Red. He's a very handsome hound mix who loves his kibble. He's 6 years old and just full of love to give. He's looking for a home that can have maybe a fenced-in yard. He's very active and he has that hound in him, so he's looking for a home that can keep him active and really enriched.
So what kind of diet is he on? Any sense?
Just a regular Wilkinen diet. Right now he has no concerns other than that. He has some history we can go over with the doctors, but nothing of concern. He's just looking for a home that can give him all that love to give. He hasn't been tested with other animals yet, but we think with a slow introduction he would do great.
What about small children? How do you think Red would respond to them?
I think he would do good. He's very a gentle giant despite his size. Can you sit? And he's very smart. He would do good with some obedience training or some enrichment at home. The hounds love to do work and love to be busy, so that'll be great for him.
You mentioned obedience training. When he came in just before we went on air, he was a good listener. He has a lot of that training already under his belt.
Absolutely. Even at 6 years old, he's very smart. He knows how to sit already, and with some more training, he could learn more every day. He loves being in the car. He loves car rides and even meeting people. He was a little timid when he came to us, but he's already just outshining us. He's a long-term resident, so we're hoping he finds his forever home soon.
You mentioned that he's active. He seems a little bit on the lean side, doesn't he?
Yes, he's very lean and muscular. He's a good size right now, and we're hoping they'll keep him active and either in a yard or out on walks with you. He's just looking for that great home.
All right, Emma, let's find a home for Red. Thanks so much for your time. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
And folks, you can see more of our Take Me Home Tuesday segments on our website, CTV News Northern Ontario.ca.
Our first community close-up takes us to Whitefish Falls. That's between Espanola and Manitoulin Island. And Essa Malanti was able to capture a photo of a tiny painted turtle hatchling and says the sweet little creature is enjoying the warm weather and cool waters of Lake Huron, just living the life. Speaking of enjoying a cool dip in the water, check out these gorgeous wood ducks captured by Karen Stanlake in the community of Spanish. What a beautiful sight to enjoy. Thank you for sharing. And from one waterway to yet another, Marie McAvoy in Timmins went for a walk around Gillies Lake yesterday. She says with the warm sun on her face and the sound of birds singing all around, she couldn't help but stop and take in a special sight. A mother duckling leading her 13 tiny ducklings. And if you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, we'd love to see them. You can email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. And finally for us, the crowd at Sudbury's Caruso Club was fiercely patriotic in Sudbury on Sunday as people came together to celebrate Italy. Organizers put together the event celebrating the 80th Festa della Repubblica. Sudbury Mayor Paul Lefebvre was invited to proclaim June as Italian Heritage Month in the city. The recognition highlights the contributions of the Italian-Canadian community and the importance of celebrating its culture, history, and traditions. The Caruso Club is one of the largest Italian associations in the province. Well done. Well, there's more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.